Okay, so now we've got a 5-mark question, so we need to be very careful here. Let's have a look. Columns G and H contain the change in the number of tourists from each country from one year, e.g. 2016, to the next, 2017, displayed as a percentage. So let's have a look at column G and H and make sure we can understand that before we start any further. Just zoom in a little bit there. Right, so this 4.6, this means that between 2016 and 2017 the percentage increased by 4.6 in terms of the number of tourists. Right, so apply conditional formatting only to cells H17 to H32. So we're not on that, so let's go to H17. You can see that's minus. Now I don't like minus numbers, so I'm going to start on one that I know is definitely correct. Right, so automatically display the number in green font if the 2017 to 2018 percentage, which is in column H, is greater than this percentage. Now we can see clearly in this case that it is, so I've picked one where I can show if it's correct that it will actually become in green font. So now I need to go to conditional formatting. Notice also I'm only using one cell here. I don't want to make it complicated by doing an entire range, and I'll explain what to do later in terms of doing it for the whole column, but let's work it out for one cell to start with. So we've got a rule here. We have to say that something's greater than something else. So this is basically a formula. We're not talking about duplicate values or above a certain amount. We're comparing it to a different cell, so we need to use a formula. Now the format where the values are true, well, in this case we're looking at this cell. Okay, just let me click there. So it's this cell, it's 6.6. That's got to be greater than this cell, which is 3.7. Now you'll notice here there's dollar signs. Now these dollar signs mean that these cells will not change when they are copied. Now actually when I want to copy them later, I do want them to change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press F4, and that toggles. In other words, that changes the different types of options we can have with dollar signs and absolute cell referencing. Now that means that when I copy this formula, the values will actually change depending on where the cell is. If I hadn't have changed that, they would have stayed exactly the same. Now I need to get my mark for changing the format, and that's nice and easy. So we just need to format the font, so we'll make sure we're not shading, we're actually formatting the font. Again, go to our standard colors, hover, just make sure it says green, which it does, and then we say OK, and then we say OK again. So you can see now that that works. That is bigger than this, and it has done it. Now, the danger, you might think, okay, well I can copy that to the next cell, but if you copy that to the next cell, you're actually copying the value as well. So just do Control Z and undo that. What we need to do is we need to go here to the Format Painter. So we click on the cell we want to copy with the formatting, and we click Format Painter. We can now go to the top, making sure we've got the correct range. So we're starting from 17 and going to 32. Let me not go too fast. There we are, and then we let go, and we should see now that that works, and every one that is less is in black and every one that is greater is in green.